Well, there's always something very natural about a Calgary-Saskatchewan division final. It happened last year in Regina, and obviously the Stampeders got out to a great start in that game, but couldn't hold on to the lead, and Saskatchewan went on to the Grey Cup. So this year the tables are turned. The West Finals here at McMahon, and should be an interesting day weather-wise, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be anytime these two teams play, it's a great opportunity for a great football game, and I'm really looking forward to it.
This is a battered and bruised Saskatchewan Roughrider club, but no chance the Stampeders are going to take that lightly.
No, they've been down that road before with Saskatchewan, obviously. They have learned long ago never to take that team lightly. Like I said, they got off to a big lead in last year's West Final at Mosaic Stadium, and Saskatchewan came back. So, yeah, that's a very resilient team, and we saw that in the West semifinal last weekend against the BC Lions when they got down early, and Darian Durant and that defense found a way in the end, and that's exactly what the Stampeders know and they respect and they are preparing for.
What are the Stampeders' keys to success?
Well, you know, some of it's weather dependent, obviously. It's looking like it's going to be a cold day, maybe some snow, maybe not, but I think the running game is crucial. Joffrey Reynolds has been hit and miss over the last third of the season or so, and they've really got to get him going, particularly if the weather's dicey. And you know, Saskatchewan has a habit of not being able to stop the run. In fact, they were the worst rushing defense in the CFL this year. So I really think it's contingent on the Stampeder offense to establish that ground game early and soften up that Saskatchewan defense.
It wouldn't be a game against the Riders if I didn't mention Henry Burris, and he seems to be Jekyll and Hyde when it comes to that team.
Yeah, you know, I got to say, though, I think all three games this year, he's played superbly. This year, not really a problem. I mean, the overtime loss was not necessarily a case of Henry Burris throwing the game away by any stretch. In fact, I think he was terrific in that game. And certainly the two victories, he was as good as any game this season. So, and, you know, he's going to come in on a high, having won the All-Star Quarterback Award, the CFL All-Star announced on Wednesday. That certainly helps his chances in the Most Outstanding Player Awards that are going to be next week in Edmonton. So a lot of things going Henry Burris' way, and this is a team, you know, like you said, he has struggled against in the past, particularly in playoff games during the Tom Higgins regime. But the last couple of years, I think John Hufnagel's been very good about getting Henry to perform at his best in the big games, and this certainly fits that description.
Is the air game shut down, or do you think that there still will be some offense through the...
I think that's wind dependent more than anything. They will throw the ball if the wind isn't there. And in fact, you know what? They threw the ball when the wind was there in Winnipeg during the last regular season game. So yeah, I mean, Rambi Bryant, Kenyon Rambo, Nick Lewis, you got to get those guys involved, and the Stampeders will do that.
Any other players we should be keen on?
I think it's going to be very interesting always to see how that Calgary secondary deals with Saskatchewan's passing game. You know, we've seen Andy Fantuz go nuts in the past 255 yards. Chris Getzlaff, the last game, I think he was over 200 yards. Darian Durant is, you know, talk about a hot and cold quarterback. You know, 22 interceptions this year, led the league, but always played well against Calgary. So, yeah, that secondary from Calgary has really got its hands full, as it always does against Saskatchewan's receiving corps.
Do you want to do your prediction?
I'm picking Calgary. I really am. I think they're the healthier team. I think they're the better team, and I think they're the better coach team at this point. So I do believe you'll see the Calgary Stampeders in the Grey Cup a week from Sunday in Edmonton.